Please ask your friends in any other groups to join now. Later, I will not admit again. And sorry for the delay because I had created a link, but I was not able to send that link to your WhatsApp group. So that was the issue. So I'm planning maybe I will create meeting links at the earliest and send the. Problem is you don't have your the CR. Do you have your group email ID, Gmail group you have created for your class? Class CR. Yeah, Anagashri, she's not here today. Okay. Is Anaga there? Yesterday, who said that she will give a 10 minutes presentation? I think it was Ananya, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Ananya, are you ready?
Yes, I can present.
Okay, pa. So, shall I give you the. Okay, you'll just talk or you want a presentation? I don't think so. I can give you presentation status. Let me check. So, how do you want to give Ananya?
I have the textbook, but I
Okay, you
really
can read out. You can just talk. It is fine. You want me to put any slides? You can let me know.
I have a window of the book. I can just see from there and tell.
Okay, pa, fine. I will leave it to you, however you want.
Okay. Um, Good morning, everyone. Yesterday we discussed about software engineering ethics. So ethics basically tells you about the right or wrong things to do. Basically, like a set of rules, um, which we need to follow. So why do we really need ethics? Is mostly because most of the work involved in a software engineer's life, like the work, it involves people's lives. So in order to not go wrong, we need basic ethics that needs to be followed. So like you need to follow a social and legal framework. You need to behave in an ethical and moral way. You shouldn't be dishonest. You're expected to hold normal standards of honesty and integrity, and you shouldn't like misuse your skills basically. Now, there are laws which are made for software engineering ethics, but there are few standard rules which are like basic common sense or like which should be carried out as a responsibility being a software engineer. There are four things, which is confidentiality, which is basically maintaining the agreements between the employer and the employee or the client's private. Second is the competence, which is basically accepting work which you know you can do, like the not taking any other work. For example, you are an engineer, you cannot go and perform surgeries on a person because you have no idea how to do it. So basically, do things which are based on your skills. Third is the intellectual property rights, which is basically protecting one's original work and ownership. You can take the example of the remaking of like Bollywood songs. You can say like they may remake the old Bollywood song. Sometimes the songwriter or the lyricist is not informed about the remake of the songs, and then he files cases on whoever. So we need to protect the ownership, and uh, that's the thing about intellectual property rights. Fourth is the computer misuse. Now you cannot use your technical skills to like misuse other people's computer, which might range from playing games on somebody else's computer to uh, having a malware or virus or like in it. Now there is a group, like exists a board, like the organization such as ACM, the IEEE, that is the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineering, which is a British computer society. Now these members, they decide the fundamental ethical behavior. Now the need for standard ethics was because as computers were being used in various fields like from commerce, industry, government, medicine, education, entertainment, and even for the software engineering roles were increasing. There was a problem that uh, our work could either be beneficial or harmful. So, in order to maintain the respect of the software engineering's profession and for the benefit of others, a code of ethics was being followed. Now, there are basic 8 principles which are based on the behavior and decisions of professional software engineers. Um, Now, these rules are made by looking into the health and welfare of people who get affected by the work of software engineers, um, and the relationship between the individuals and the groups and the organization, maintaining humanity. Um, and any software engineer, they need to oblige to these rules, which are formed by the board. Um, Now, these 8 rules are: first one is public. Um, Software engineers must act based on the public interest. Second is client and employer. We need to basically act in an ethical, moral way. Third is the product. Software engineers must ensure that the product is related to the modifications, and it should basically maintain quality, and it should meet the standard needs. Third is the judgment. um, Software engineers shall maintain integrity and independence in the professional judgment. Fifth is the management. Um, Software engineering managers and leaders shall subscribe and promote ethical approach to management of software development and maintenance. Profession is basically maintaining the reputation of the profession by not doing illegal things. Colleagues is, um, you should not only knowledge yourself but also knowledge, like spread your knowledge to others. um, and the other is self, that is participating in lifelong learning regarding the practice and profession, and you should promote ethical approach to the practice of profession. Now, although these rules are made, there might be a few people or there might be situations which cause dilemma. Now, it sometimes arises when you do not agree to the ethics which is set up by the board. But it depends on the individual and how you react to the disagreement. Uh, if you read the textbook, it basically tells you about these moral values which must be inculcated in you to handle the situations, because there might be chances that um, you might not agree to the uh, you might not agree to the code and you want to protest, but you should think before protesting, like, are you in a position that the organization will listen to you, or how people are going to take it? Are they going to take it positively? Are they going to take negatively? Um, and uh, uh, b- you can just read those 3 4 paragraphs which basically tells you about the moral values which you should basically thinking before you even react to a situation. And there are also chances that you might go correct but the organization might not follow the code of conduct due to lack of time or um, many other things. So there might be chances that in order to come out or not fall into trouble, you might quit your job. But it all depends on how you approach things and how you handle situations. After this are the three case studies, um, which the first one is
Okay. Okay,
yeah,
fine. It's fine, pa. Because I'll ask someone else to give the case studies. Okay.
okay, okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Ananya. It was really good.
Well,
So, like as I said, even if I forget, once your internals time, please remind me. I'll give you 1 marks. Okay, extra.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you, pa. So, from where did you study, Ananya?
From the Ian Somerville book, and I just saw one YouTube video. That's it.
Okay, fine. Now, for the others, I wanted to ask was now others. I I don't know how to tell, but still, how many of you read actually, and how many of you did not? Yes, yeah. None of you. How many of you did not read at all? Fine. Thumbs up or something you can give. Which is more? I don't know. People who have read are more, or people who have not read at all are the more people. Okay, someone who has. I'll ask with a positivity only. How many of you have just had the time to go through? None of you? Yeah, what is this? Come on, I want to reply fast. So, none of you have read anything and you're attending the class. Now, some of you might question, ma'am, from where should I read? You have not given notes, you have not shared PPT, you have not what given any videos also, right? So many of you yesterday messaged me asking for videos or recorded session or notes, all of that. Now, first of all, in the first class, what did I say about notes? Okay, let's ask Ananya only. Ananya,
Yes, ma'am.
how much did you read and how much could you write tell today?
I actually the textbook is really huge. Like it's like this huge
Hmm.
novel
Hmm.
I'm reading, but I have
Hmm.
written points. Like I had underlined
Hmm.
those points,
Yeah,
and I just read out a few.
you read out a few lines from there. Okay. Imagine if you did not have the book.
Then
Would you
that's
would it be easy?
no.
See, uh, imagine Ananya, I take off whatever book you have. Fine, you have understood very well. In those points, what you have written, maybe you have written half a page.
Yeah, half a page.
Okay, how much could you recollect and tell without seeing?
Probably
Tell.
25% of it. 25-35% of it.
Correct? Now, this is what I said in the first class. This was an exercise which I wanted to give each and every one of you in the class to go through that textbook and try to prepare. What I want to make clear here is if I give notes, what will it be? It will be the exact textbook wherein I will take out 50% of the content and put it in a document and give it to you, because I can't write my own software engineering textbook. And to understand it and put it in my own points, I mean, putting a novel in a points, how will it be possible? Okay, fine. I condense it to 25%. If you read my 25% of notes, how much will you be able to recollect and write in the exam or in the internals? Like your friend said, 25% of what I have given. Will that be sufficient for you in exam to get marks even to pass? Are you getting my points? That's the reason. First class only I said I want everyone to read the textbook. Ma'am, you have not given the textbook. In Big Out, do you don't have this textbook soft copy uploaded? Yes, students. Yes or no? So, even though yesterday all of you asked, some of you asked, message, pinged everything, I just wanted to leave it at there and see what you will do. Now, so next class, I will ask the same thing to you people. Fine. I don't know from where you will read, but I would suggest all of you to read the textbook. Yes, it is boring. It is very, whatever you say, you can't read and follow it. Everything is quite possible, but you don't have any other way. Now, if you insist, I will give you notes. Okay, maybe, but not right now. Maybe after a week or something for module one, I can prepare the notes. But I will, if you ask me how will the notes be, it will be a textbook. Maybe I can take out points and put the proper headings and give it to you. I don't think so. Anyone will be possible to write their own software engineering textbook. Even if I try to give points, you will never pass in that exam. For ethics, there are 4 points along with eight conditions in IEEE. If you write something else apart from that, do you think you will get marks? 100% you will not get marks. Yes, if you have understood, yes, I can give lots of understanding, but that is not what is required, right? Main thing you have to pass in your exams. For that, you have to refer this textbook and whatever points they have given here, you have to write the same thing. Fine with this? Now, so, but anyone before that, can you give me what does the three use cases means? If you don't tell the use cases, then it will not be possible for me to go forward. So anyway, I will share that anyone can see at least and explain, or you want to take it for the next class. Can you see the screen? So who will explain? Someone is prepared at least. Janvi, have you prepared? Yes, someone could. I have given the diagram data. I'll give you 2 minutes. You can go through it, and then I will ask someone to explain. Why no one is responding today? Okay, you want the slide wherein you have the explanation of the system? Okay, I will give you this and the next slide. You can read it. No, this is the patient info. No, not this one. Yeah, you can read this and then I will give the diagram. Then you have to explain. Is it fine now? No, I want a response. Otherwise, this is the morning class. If you do like this, what happens is I can go on explaining. I don't have any problems. I have enough PPTs. What will happen is you will not remember anything. And the day before the internals, you will be like struck thinking about where will I study, what will I remember, and what will I do. And then what you do, you will write down chits, you will come to the test to write, or you will try to copy, or you will say software engineering thing is very difficult, I will not come and take the internals itself. I will get absent. That is what I want. Now I want each one of you who have logged in now to read this, and then I will give the diagram PPT to analyze that, and then I want everyone, anyone, at least 2 minutes to explain what it is. It is very simple. I don't think it is a rocket science what I'm asking you to explain. Fine. When you want me to move to the next line, let me know, chat. I will put to the next, go to the next slide. That is the PPT. I mean the figure. Okay, agreed, all of you? Okay, fine. 79 students have logged in. I want all of you to go through it. I will ask anyone randomly in the 79 students to explain. Otherwise, those who do not answer, they are marked absent today. So I'm giving time now to read. Yes, Aditya, I don't want anything in writing. I want you to explain. So, all of you, did you read it? I had given enough time, right? So, who will explain now? Any volunteers? So, the diagram is also there. So, do you want me to name anyone? Okay, let me name. Anagashri. As soon as I say I will name anyone, someone left. Now, I hope you all are using your phones. You can enable your microphones, right? Anagashri not there. Someone else left. Ishita. Okay. Why am I not hearing response from anyone? Aditya fine, Janvi fine. Apart from that, Chandrakant.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Chandrakant. Did you go through it?
Yes, ma'am. I went
Can
through it.
you? Yeah. Can you explain in two? At least in 4 or 5 lines, you can explain. I'll be more than happy.
Yes, ma'am. See,
Yeah,
this is
Chandrakant.
a study of
Hmm.
personal insulin pump. It is an embedded system,
Hmm.
and it is a combination of both hardware and software. The
Yes,
software
very
gives
good.
instructions uh, as per the instructions given by the software. The hardware functions, and there are many hardware devices like needle and clock, alarm, and pump, etc. These function as to measure the amount of glucose level present in the blood.
Hmm.
So it has a sensor embedded inside the patient's body.
Yes, good.
Uh,
To do see, Chandrakant, what you're telling is 100% correct. But what does this system do? Tell me that.
it measures the amount of glucose in the
Yes,
blood, and as per the amount of glucose present, it injects the insulin to the diabetic
yes,
patient.
yes, sir. That is the line which I want. See, it measures there is a sensor which measures the blood sugar level.
Yes.
Thank you, Chandrakant. It's not about the answer. At least you're in the class and you just understood what it means. I'm very happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Now, who else? I called Anaga and she didn't respond at all. Anagashri? No. Who else can I call? Rishita? Not there. Why are none of the girls responding? Suchita?
Yes, ma'am.
Suchita, can you explain this use case? Whatever you know. I don't want 100% correct answer. Whatever you know, that if you can explain, it will be more than enough for me.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah,
Ma'am,
Pa.
it
Thank you
is
so much.
it is
Hmm.
it is a medical system pump,
Yes.
and it stimulates the operation of pancreas.
Yes.
And this controlling system is an embedded system,
Hmm. What
and
it does, Suchita? Hmm.
it collects information from sensor and controls a pump that delivers a controlled dose for insulin.
Yes, Pa. Fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Last person, Manasa Shetty. You're on your microphone. I thought so. You are interested. That's why. Manasa. No, Manasa is not here. No, next time if okay, today is the last warning. Next time when I ask someone if they are not responding, yes, Janvi, you can try.
Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Yes, Janvi, please.
Yeah, so this is actually people who are suffering from diabetes use the system. So diabetes is really common where the human pancreas is unable to produce sufficient quantity of hormone called insulin. So from an external system, the blood glucose level is measured of that person who is suffering from diabetes, and they provide an external insulin. So actually this insulin, when they provide an external insulin, they measure the quantity before how much they needed, but um, this can lead to a very low blood sugar glucose or very high blood sugar glucose. The low blood sugar glucose is the short term or more serious condition where where it can result to a temporary brain malfunctioning or death. In a long term, however, um, where there is a high level of blood glucose can lead to eye damage, kidney damage, and heart problems. So right now there's a development in the system where these system monitor blood sugar level and deliver an appropriate dose of insulin when required. Insulin delivery system is like an already exist for the treatment of hospital patients. So in future, it may be possible for many diabetic to have such system permanently attached to their bodies. A software controlled insulin delivery system might work by using a microsensor embedded in the patient to measure some blood parameters that is proportional to the sugar level. This is then sent to the pump controller. This, this controller computes the sugar level in the amount of insulin that is needed. It then sends signal to the minimized pump to deliver the insulin via a permanently attached needle.
Yes, Pa, Janvi. Good. From where did you read, Janvi?
Ma'am, textbook.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Pa, Janvi. Now your experience of reading the textbook. How much did you read? Have you written the points and you're presenting, or you remember what you have read and you're giving?
Ma'am, I've remembered whatever I've read and I'm just telling it out.
Okay. How much could you remember and reproduce?
Ma'am, at least 40%.
Okay. Good.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. So the others have not understood. That is what I have to think, or should I say you have understood well? No, I need a feedback for me to continue. So it was only that I will not ask, you thought you will not try. Is it that so? No, promptly I need an answer. But then why so less people are responding to answer? I'm asking only 3 lines. How much did I ask Chandrakant or someone else to present? I wanted only 2 minutes of your time to just tell. Reason why is I want you to start reading the textbook. See, it is not about me not able to give you notes or anything like that. You are engineering students and please start cultivate the habit of reading. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for you. Fine. Like your friend said, you read from the textbook, you can recall and reproduce only less than 50%. So if I give you notes or if you read, even if you don't want to read my notes, if you read someone else's notes also, my point is you can only reproduce not more than 50%. Then it will be even more less. Okay. So I have given you what I have to tell. I've told you in the internals exam, if you get less marks, don't come to me asking why. Okay. So please take seriously because these are on. Now, if it was class, I would make everyone stand up and last 15 minutes I would have told them to give the presentation or talk or I would have let them. But now because this is offline, I'm not able to make out what you're doing. Are you really listening or whether you are able to reproduce or understand on all those things? Okay. But still, I will leave it to you. But please make it a point this semester you will have exams. Don't take lightly. So from today onwards, I will share the PPT in your big out bike out. Okay, chapter 1, which I've already completed today. Last class, I've completed chapter 1 till your use cases. Next class, today's class only, I will do something known as process models. Okay. Now there is a use case 2 that is mental health care system and use case 3 that is nothing but weather station update. Do you want me to explain or do you want me to continue with the next chapter? I will leave it to you. But next class I will ask everyone to talk about it. Anyone in the class. Yes, someone here wants me to explain. Anyone who wants me to explain can ping. Everyone have understood? Respond fast. You want me to explain? Chetan Saif? Okay, sir. Next, we have is a mental health care system. Now, what is this mental health care system? Is there are certain patients who are suffering from mental health problems and they need to receive treatments. Now, the thing is, they might not require regular. See, this is for patients who do not require dedicated hospital treatment. They need to go for a visit, but they need not have to go for the actual hospital to get it done. Will so they will require somewhere known as specialist clinics. So they can visit the clinics regularly and meet the doctor there or a nurse or someone or some prescribed person whom they can meet and they can undergo their treatment. So how is this possible? This mental health care system is for works in a place wherein the clinics will are like a client, or what is these clinics do is they have a mechanism wherein they can download the patient information from the main hospital. There is a server which maintains all the student details. Now let's say Fortis is one hospital, right? Now they do have clinics, like our Dayanand Sagar clinics also. You can take for that example. The main hospital is in two places. One is in Tilak Nagar and the other is in Kumaraswamy layout. But you have so many Sagar clinics available in the city. Are you understanding my point? There are so many clinics. The patient can visit those clinics for regular treatment or for some monthly visit or something like that. Right now, when he visits any of these clinics, what happens is he can get all this doctor within that clinic can obtain all the patient information from a centralized location, that is the server. What kind of information? When was he last attended the session or went to the clinic? What was the drugs or what was the medication prescribed to him? Who was the doctor who gave him the checkup? All that. Assume today he attended a clinic in our college campus here. Fine. Tomorrow he shifts to some other location in some part of Bangalore. Now, does he have to come to this place again for a visit? No. He will attend a clinic or go to a clinic which is nearby to his place, maybe in north of Bangalore. Okay. Now, does the doctor say that yes, I don't have anything, previous prescriptions, what happened or who saw you, what was the treatment given to you? No. He will download the information or get the information from the server about all the details, when he visited, who was the last, when, where, and what was the prescription given. Are you able to understand the concept? So, this will benefit the patient. He can attend the clinics whichever is near to him or whichever is convenient to him. Fine. One stakeholder here is the patient. Next stakeholder is the doctor. Now, how is it useful to this doctor? Now, the doctor can get information about the patient always. Any patient comes, he need not have to maintain the information regularly. He can get the information from the system automatically. Now, he need not have to book the next meeting or something like that. The system automatically, now if he says next month, the system automatically sets the meeting request, sends the request both to the patient as well as the doctor. Appointment is fixed. I hope nowadays it is, which is the system does in your mobile app available for this. Practo. Have you used that app? Anyone? Yeah, anyone has used that Practo app? Practo. Yes. Now, once you visit a doctor, I mean, you can book your appointment with your doctors with that app, right? If the doctor is using that app, and it will also give you after some days, like last visit to your doctor was so many days. Do you want to book an appointment? Something like that. This is yes, sir. This is something, I mean, more complicated than that. I mean, more has more features than that. Okay, something similar to that. So the doctor can get the patient information from the server and see what where when he visited last, everything. He can also schedule the next appointment, and so forth. And not only that, suppose he can see other patients' information also. Like there is some specialist, okay, and he is new to this field. He can get the information regarding what was the treatment given to patients suffering from such kind of what can I say, not a disease, but such kind of symptoms. Fine. So it helps the doctor in that way. Next is hospitals. How does it help the hospital? It will help the hospital to get the details or the log data. Log data in the sense how many patients visited in this clinic. Let's say in Kumaraswamy, there is a clinic in north of Bangalore and in our campus. Now, if the patients in our college campus is less and there in North Bangalore is more, then it means that this clinic is not required here. Some things like that. And what are the medications which have been prescribed? So they can tell the pharmaceutical companies which medication is going more or is required more. Then what is the funds that have been collected in different clinics? All such kinds of things they can collect. Did you understand the overall situation? Yes. Now, can you read this? This is what I explained. See, there is other thing also. When I observed, I don't tell it as mistakes. For people who gave, actually I'm very happy those who gave or spoke, that at least you tried your attempt. One thing what I noticed was, from their things, others also it applies, you didn't even attempt. So for everyone what I want to tell is, please understand what you have to put forward and what you have to not. In the same, there are certain things which are very important which you have to say, okay, and certain things which you remember you can put. So don't miss the important points. Like in your insulin system, what you did was, most of the people missed that about the sensor you have to tell. Okay, then log. See, what does it do is, it will calculate the insulin amount based on your current level, sensor level, as well as the previous log which was obtained. None of you said that. Okay, based on that, it will calculate the dosage, and using the pump, it will pump. So that was missing. So, what is the important points? Please don't try miss it out. Fine. All of you started with that pancreas. I When people who spoke pancreas, I could uh, understand that you have read it from the textbook, because yesterday I nowhere mentioned pancreas while giving the presentation. I explained that use case only. So everything regarding the pancreas, it is explained in your textbook in the first paragraph. Am I right, Janvi? Yes. So what was happening is, you in the textbook there are 4 pages about this use case. I think back to back, if we take, it is 4 pages. So Janvi, when you said I read and remembered, the first part you remembered that, but as you went to the third and fourth pages, those points you could not put it for properly. Correct? The diagram and this thing. So that is what happens in this while you're reading. You will not get to know what is important to remember and leave. Yes, I would suggest go through the PPTs. Will contain all the important points, and people who have thoughts this subject, they will go through this PPT. PPTs which are available from the textbook author. So you can understand, it means all the important points he has put in this PPT. Go through these PPTs, go through the textbook, and then you can answer in a better way. Now, what you were all able to read and reproduce, I think some notes is required, and I will try to do as much as possible. Fine. But even if I give notes and if you don't read it, then it does not make any point. So I please go through the PPT, then through the textbook, and you can recall and you can reproduce. Okay. So I'll give you 2 minutes. Read this slide, and after this, I will put the goals also. Okay. I'll put in the slide itself. Can you all see? Now, those who are all present in the class, if anyone I ask, they should be ready to explain. Now, if you have any doubts, you ask me. I'll give you 2 minutes to prepare. After that, anyone not answering, you will be marked absent. I think now I have the rights to do that. Yes or no? Agreed with that? Because this is the second time explaining. I'm also telling you, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. I'm not asking you a full-fledged presentation. I want you to give in 2 lines what does the system do? What is the use of its system? If I ask, what does Facebook do? Yes? Will you not be in a position to tell me? Yes or no? Similarly, about what does this system do? If I ask, please answer me in 2-3 lines. I give you 2 minutes time. Okay, done. 80 students are there. Muskan, Muskan, Muskan Bajpai. Online. I can see you online. Come on, respond. If your microphone is not working properly, at least give me a chat. Send a message, madam. Madam or sir. Fast. Medini. Medini Suresh. Medini Suresh. Yes, am I audible, students? Am I audible? Someone respond. Yes. What about Medini? How come when I say attendance, you people just respond? Tuck. Peep. But now you're not even sending me a chat message. What does this mean? Muskan over, Medini over, Manjesh.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Manjesh. Thank you at least for responding. Yes,
Ma'am, it
Manjesh,
is a
can.
medical.
Yes,
Yes,
good.
ma'am. I can
Yeah,
explain two lines. It
yeah,
is a
sure.
medical information system that maintains information about patients suffering from mental health problems and treatment that they have received. It makes
Okay.
use of a centralized database of patient information but has also been designed to run on a PC so that it may be accessed and used from sites that do not have secure internet connectivity. When the local systems have secure network access, they use patient information in the database, but they can download and use local copies of patient records when they are disconnected. Users of this are clinicians can create record for patients, edit the information in the system, view patient's history. The system supports data summaries so that doctors who have not previously met a patient can quickly learn about the key problems and treatments that they have been prescribed.
Okay.
That's all.
Thanks, Manjesh. You read out from the slide, but still, it is fine. Did you understand at least how it works? What it is?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Manjesh. Thank you so much. Medina, I don't know what does this mean. Network problem, ma'am. But now, if your network, you don't have any problem, can you explain? If your microphone is not working properly, I can ask you to answer through chat itself. I have no issues. Okay, Muskan, can you now, at least now also it is not working? At least can you type your answer? Both of you. Fine, can you type your answer? Fine, thank you. What about Medini? Is my expectation at least for you to log in or type or read at least what is in slide too much that you cannot do? Okay, guys. I'm done with this. Then I think even after me explaining again, you're not responding. I don't know what I can tell about it. But from next class, I won't entertain this. I want you to be attentive in the class. So let's go to the next chapter. Yes, thank you, Medini. I'm sorry. Who was the other person? Okay. Medini and Muskan. Both of you have typed. Okay. Thank you. Both of you. So let's start with the next topic. All of you. So the next chapter is software process. I've already explained you this, but still. Now, what is a software process? It is a set of activities required to develop a software system. Now, what are these processes that are or activities that are required to deliver a software system? Yes. What are the 4 steps that are required in software process activities? First is specification. Now, specification means what does it do? I've taught you this. It will define what the system has to do. Now, when I'm designing a system, I tell the requirements. So, specifications is nothing but the requirements that is uh, that define what a system has to do. Next is once I have the requirements, then I have something known as design and implementation. Based on the requirements given, the system will be designed and then implemented. What do I mean by design and what do I mean by implementation? Yes, is it one and the same or it is different? I gave you an example for this. Can someone say what is design? What is implementation? Is it one and the same? Yes or no? It is different. Okay, fine. Any example? I gave you an example while teaching this. Plan and construction. Design means you come up, that is what I said, right? Plan. You go to an architect and you tell what and all you want. If I am building a house, I go to an architect. I tell, yes, I need a duplex house. I need certain parking area, or it should be so and so. Whether I require a basement, how many floors I require, how many rooms I require. So he will collect all that. This phase is known as specifications or requirement gathering phase. That is your first phase. This one. So when you go and tell what your requirements are, this is known as the specifications or requirement gathering space. Here there are stakeholders. Now the stakeholders are the customers and the software engineers. Now if it is a generic product, who will be the customer? If it is a generic product, who will be the customers? Yes. If it is generic
Public,
product,
ma'am. It'll be the public who will be
uh,
consuming the product
yeah,
on
public
the
as
generic
yeah,
market.
I can say that is the public means you will think about what is generally happening. That is the software engineer. Yes, the software engineer will do an analysis about what people are using, what are the people's requirements, and he will come up with the requirements. If it is a customized product, then the customer will give me the requirements. Fine. Now, in the building example only, I can think about this. If the government is coming up with a building or something, what they do, they will think up with how actually it is requirement or the people needs, they will come up, right? But if it is a single person, if it is like me or you who are building a house for ourselves, then it will be something like customized. What we require, we'll come across it. Even in case if you are building a apartment or if you are building a uh, something like that, what are the building the apartment architect, what he will do now, he will take with the latest trends, what people want, based on that he will come up with the overall structure. Yes, within that you will have your own customized needs, you might change it. Yes, this also I can this also is applicable for your software products. What happens is now most of the companies they will come up with a generic product which is customizable. What does it mean? Here if Infosys comes up with a banking application, what they do is generally they will come up with a banking application. Then they will change it based on their customer needs, like maybe ICICI, HDFC, like that. Even though it is generic, they will customize it for particular customers. Someone, I think, long back in the class asked about cloud. Who was it? Ma'am, whether cloud is generic or it is customized. Aditya, was it you? I don't know. Someone with A only asked me that question. I forgot their name, but I remember that question. See, in clouds also, Amazon cloud and all, they have generic clouds. But yes, certain customers will have their own requirements. They will change it so that they will give a customized product for them. Okay. So once specifications are given, they will come up with a plan, design. Now design, I said, it is like a plan. Now it may be diagrammatical or it may be written. Diagrammatical plans are something like whatever diagrams you saw in the use case, an activity diagram, how the system works. Those are all design. Implementation is nothing but your coding. You are actually developing that system using any kind of coding languages. So software engineers do that. Now this coding will be dependent upon the design. Based on the design, you will do the coding, and you will design based on the requirements. Fine. I think I've explained this enough in the previous class. Can I go ahead? Any doubts in that? Next phase is validation. What is validation? Validation. Yes, testing. Here, you test whatever you have coded, you have to check whether it is working right? So that is done within this validation. Yes, sir. Reviewing of code. Yes, fine. A type of validation. Yes, sir. Now, in this, what you do is you check whether your system is working properly. Now, how do I check? You can say so many mistakes. Like if it is people like me, when you validate, if I am checking, testing, and say, let's say I am validating or checking your answer scripts. Now, every time I've given marks or something like that, will you agree with that? Will you not to come and fight with me? Right. You will say, ma'am, you had asked for 4 points and that 8 points I have written, but you have not given me marks. Okay. Suppose you have written half and half is not written. Out of 4 points, you have written 3 points. Then I will say, yes, it is not correct. Similarly, here in validation, the people who are validating it will see the requirements. Now, in those requirements, if you have agreed for 4 things and you have written only, and your software is working only for 3 points, then you say your system, it is not properly, I mean, it is not working as required. So all these things is done within validation or testing. There are, when we go for testing, you will learn different types of testing and all of that. Like unit testing, system testing, integration testing. So there is a number of ways to do this. One entire module you have on testing. Okay. So basically it will check the system is working as expected, as the customer wants. If it is a customized product, the customer will also test whether it is working properly. If it is a generic product, the company itself will test to see whether all the features what they intended in the product is given. Okay. Next is evolution. What do I mean by evolution? The system is developed, tested, people are, you have already sold that software product to your customers. It is working very fine. Will you stop that product there itself? I mean, yes, Microsoft Windows was developed long back. Have they stopped that production yet already? Have they stopped? No, right? Every 2 years they will come up with a new version and they will say the older version is not supported. Agree with this? So that is nothing but software evolution. What they do is to meet the changing needs of the customer. Now, olden OS, maybe Windows 2005 or something, that did not support so many features, cloud features or networking features and all. Can they keep the same thing now? No, right? They have to evolve to meet the changing needs of the customer. Now, most of the system users will use cloud, so their new OS should support cloud. They can't say it will not work. What they do is they take the new needs and they work on the system, or the system is changed to meet the changing needs of the customer. That is nothing but evolution. So once in evolution, yes, again it involves coding, implementing it, validating it. Okay. So this is known as evolution. Am I clear with this software processes? Next is software process model. Now, in order to achieve this software process, that is the 4 steps, you can represent it using a software process model. So you can represent a software process using a model. Ma'am, I don't require representation. See, if you don't do this representation or a model, the system becomes, if a system is complex, it becomes very confusing, or you cannot achieve what is required. So in order to help the software engineer to achieve this processes, you have this model. It presents a description of this process from some particular perspective. So these are the description. Okay. So you can represent the software processes using a model or a way. For that is for software process also you have a guidelines, or you can use certain kind of technology, I can say. So what, there are a number of software process models. The most important ones are waterfall model, then you have incremental development, then you have reuse oriented software engineering, and you have another one known as spiral model. For your exam, this is very important. What are the different software processes involved, and explain the models. They might either ask you one of the model, or they may ask you all the models. Okay. Before going to models, you have to understand the software processes. That is the 4 steps. And how can I do that? I can do that using these models. For in this models also, there are a number of different types. Ma'am, why it is so complicated, ma'am? First of all, first they came up with waterfall model. When they came up with waterfall model, they got to know that there are so many problems with it. So to solve that problems, they came up with incremental model. When people were using incremental model, someone said, hey, I have something known as agile or something known as a reuse oriented. I will use that. And someone came up with a newer thing that is spiral, and they said this is more efficient than the above things. Okay, so ma'am, if they came up with incremental model saying that there were drawbacks with waterfall, then this is best. Why am I learning this? Right? Something is the PPT now visible? Not visible. Okay. Fine. One second. Can you see it now? One second. Now?
Yes, ma'am, we can see it.
Okay, thank you. So, ma'am, will we not use waterfall model if you have incremental model? Nowadays, everywhere, I hope you have heard of the term agile. If you have not heard, it is the latest thing. So everyone says we are, I mean, any software company says we are using agile means of software development. It is like, wow, oh, it is the latest now. So are we using the others? See, it is not means that something I'm using this. It does not mean that the other is not effective. Okay, it means that for certain cases, certain applications, certain scenarios, some things are more suitable, but for certain scenarios, some things are not suitable. Okay, so that is how it is. You will learn about it. So the first model what you are going to learn is waterfall model. Most of the times it comes for the examination, so please be careful. This is known as plan driven development, and it has several separate distinct phases of specification and development. Fine, what does that mean? Let's go to the next line. So this is how your waterfall model looks. Why is it called waterfall is in this diagram you can make out I have requirement specification or requirements definition. What is requirements definition? It is the first phase in your software process. So in this model, first thing what you do is you gather requirements. Only after gathering the requirements, you go to the next stage. Please understand the arrow mark. Without the arrow marks, this model is nothing. It is wrong. So requirements definition you do first. And after that, you go to design phase. Fine. Based on the requirements which you have gathered, your system is designed. You plan how you can develop the system based on the requirements. So this design phase takes input from requirements. Okay. Only after finishing the design you go to implementation and unit testing. Now this forms your in your software process. This is the first phase, design and implementation. This comes the next phase. Once you do the design, you will do the implementation. Ma'am, can I do implementation before design? No, it is not possible. It is one after the other. Unit testing means now you are developing a code, right? I mean, you have written a C program. You run that program to see whether there are compile time errors. That is nothing but unit testing. Fine. Once you are done with this phase, you will do integration and system testing. What do I mean by integration and system testing? Integration testing means Saif, it is not that. What you said is not correct. First of all, okay, let me finish the explanation. You know if you understood or not. So, third, what you have here is integration testing. What is integration testing? Now, your software product will not be a single program. It will be multiple programs, modules which are developed by different people. Now, if I say this software product is there are two programs which are being developed by two different programmers. For your module or your software to be complete, you have to integrate. Fine, you have to combine. So when you combine, it may not work. Individually, it is working fine, but when you're combining, there may be some technical issues due to which it will not work properly. Now, let's take for example, we'll ask someone to come up with one Excel, okay, and another one to leave off minimum. I'll ask someone to come up with a document, and it is a very big thing. I'll ask one person to come up with two parts, two modules within that document, and another person with another two modules. Okay, now I have to combine into one single document. Is it very easy? One would have typed it using Times New Roman. The other would have used some other thing, Calibri or something like that. One font size is this and the other's font size is that. One is center aligned, the other is other. One will have certain bold and the other is not have. One will be alignment, first heading, second heading, bold, everything, interline spacing. Will it match with the others? Can I integrate without any issues? Will it look after integrating? It is a single document. Yes or no? There are lots of problems. Similarly, when we are integrating problem modules developed by many people, there will be problems. In order to test it, we do integration testing. Did you understand what do you mean by integration testing? All of you. Fine. Okay. Once I have done, they will do integration. After integration testing, they will do we will do system testing. See, please understand what is unit testing, what is integration testing, what is system testing. Tomorrow I'll ask you that question. Next is system testing. Now, are you all clear with unit testing and integration testing? Yes? Okay. I can go with next is integration test. I'm sorry, system testing. Now, after doing everything integration testing, what we do is we will say the complete document I have integrated, everything I check. But someone, when I send it to someone, my higher up, like my HOD gives me a job, that is that document creation to me. I will give it intent to you. You will give me, I will do that integration, test everything is properly, and I will give it back to HOD ma'am. Now, what will she do? She will check whether the overall document is correct according to the requirement, not only alignment testing, whether what she expected from me, whether it is proper or not. Something like that is system in testing. What does this system testing do is, after my complete product is developed, my complete software product is developed, we do this testing to check whether all the requirements is correctly working or not. Like our gaming application, now the game is ready, it is installed, and the it is product is ready. Now, at the end, the customer will check what and all was his expectations. Now, whether the scoring is coming properly, whether the images, video, audio, all that is properly, whether there is a synchronization. Everything is done in system testing. Now, this system testing is done when the entire product is developed, unit tested, integration tested, there are no errors. Only thing you are seeing is everything is working properly as per your expectation in the requirements. Now, did you get the difference between three types of testing? Unit, integration, as well as system testing. My voice is breaking for everyone. Okay. Uh, but did you understand integration testing? Fine, I will wind up 2 minutes. The last stage in waterfall model is evolution. That is operation and maintenance. Once it is tested, I release it to the customer. Please bear with me 2 minutes, okay? Because otherwise I have to explain this once again. Once I have done everything, the customer is happy, it goes into operation, my software product. Once it goes to operation, it does not mean that it is the end of the product. Maybe sometime or something I face some issues. That is what we call it as maintenance. Then we send it back to the company. Like Microsoft, I am working on something in Microsoft product. Something they will ask, do you want to report if there is an issue? When you report it, what happens? It will go to the requirements. They will check. Now it may be already that requirement there or not there. If the requirement is not there, they will add it to the requirements. If it is already there, they will check if it is there. Then they will go to the system design and see whether that they have implemented that requirement within their plan. Okay, whether the design is there for that requirement. Yes, if it is there, fine. Then if it is not there, they will include it. Yes, it is added there. Now that is what it is. The requirements is there, but it is not there in the, design is not there. They will go to this design here. Now, if the design is also there, it is not properly tested, implemented, they will if it is added to the design, it will come from here. If it is already in the design, it will go to implementation. Are you getting? Once implementation unit tested, if it is yes, it was there, but it was not done properly integrated, it will go to integration testing. Then again to operation and maintenance. Now, if it is a new feature, then everything is repeated again. It is integrated and it is operation and maintenance it is done. Am I clear with this? Okay then. At least did you get a clear idea about, I mean, a little bit idea about what is waterfall model? That is one after the other it happens. You can't do implementation first, or you cannot do while design, you cannot go for requirements, something like that. It is only one after the other. Will you be ready with your attendance typing so that I can take your attendance? Yeah, USN 1, like yesterday, P1, P2,